exercise. We're going to go ahead and get started with some butt kickers for each exercise. For these warm-ups, it's going to be 15 seconds or so, and then we're going to do 2 rounds of it. So we're going to go ahead and start going like this, and let's get started with some jumping jacks. So jack it out of me. If you're needing to modify, if you're dealing with any pelvic floor issues, you can always step it out to make it less high impact for yourself. All right, good. We're going to be doing some arm stuff, so we're going to get started with some arm circles here. We're going to go ahead and windmill forward, get things nice and warmed up. Not sure what the day has been like for you, but if it's been anything like me, then you might be a little bit kind of stuck at a computer, not moving a whole lot as you wished you were. All right, a few more seconds here, and then we're going to move into a side lunge here with an overhead reach. You're going to reach out all the way to the side here, nice and long. Get all the kinks out, and then to the other side. Good. Try to lunge a little bit deeper each time that you do this. Very good. All right, and then toes forward, arms out. You're going to reach yourself back so that you're stretching into the hamstrings. Get a little bit of spinal rotation. Going back and forth here. Very good. You're going back and forth. So the whole workout here that we have going on will be for about 30 seconds. We're back to the top with our little butt kickers here. Very good. Try to get yourself a little bit of speed here. Really get yourself warmed up. Again, if you're dealing with pelvic floor issues, you can choose to just kind of march it if that's what you need. If not, we're jacking it out next. This is a good way to kind of finish out the evening after you put the kids down. If you have little ones, get yourself moving before you wrap up for the evening or the night. All right, windmills here, going forward. Very good, nice and big. Get those shoulders going and reverse it. Going back. Make sure you get your abs really nice and tight to protect your back. Very good, and we're reaching to the side. Good. To the side here. 2 more. Good, and other side. Lunging it to the side, reaching over. Very good. All right, toes forward. We're going to come down and over, down and over. So if you guys want to play your own music, feel free to do that. I do have everybody muted, but I choose not to have any music simply so that everyone can hear me, especially if there's a replay that we'll be posting this. People can, choose their own tunes. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have 4 rounds, 2 exercises each. The first exercise is going to be more cardio-based, and the second exercise is going to be more strength-based. But without further ado, each one is a minute. You'll do it each one twice, 20-second break between. All right, so the first one that you're going to be doing is a Heisman shuffle. We're just going to have a little timer here so that we can go ahead and hear that when we get started. So Heisman shuffle, before we get started, I'll show you real quick. You're going to go over, and then kind of stop there for a second. Okay, if you're having pelvic floor issues, you're just going to do kind of like on your toes, nice and quick as best you can. All right, here we go. Go ahead, and you're doing shuffle, shuffle, stop, shuffle, shuffle, stop. Take it at your own speed. We're here for a minute, so take a speed that you know that you'll be able to accomplish without gassing yourself too early, too soon. All right, very good. We're shuffling, and we're stopping. All right, halfway there. Shuffle, shuffle, stop. Shuffle, shuffle, stop. Or you're taking out the little bounce, And just kind of moving quickly up on your toes. Good, we're moving side to side. And another 12 seconds here. Keep it going. Keep it going strong. Next one here, you'll have a little bit of time for your heart rate to recover. All right, very good. We're gonna do here 20-second break while I show you the next one. We're going to do a split stance squat. You're gonna grab your weights. You're gonna be in a split stance on your toes in the back. You're gonna bring your hips back, protect your back, and lift straight up without squeezing too much forward. All right, get a quick sip of water and start with a split stance. All right, so full minute on one side. Really focus on your form. Get that heart rate to slow down. Really get things moving. As you do this, you want to send your hips back. As you do this, 95% of your weight is in that front leg, and in the back leg is just there as a kickstand to help you keep your balance. So the majority of the work is happening on that front leg, on those glutes, on those hips. You should not be feeling this in your back. If you're feeling it in your back, make sure that you try to do a little bit of a tuck underneath, and that should help take the strain off. As you turn here, keep going. Make sure that as you do this, that you're sending your hips back versus kind of coming forward with it. All right, good. Take a little 20-second break here. Get a sip of water. As you do this, we're going to do another set of the Heisman Shuffle. So let's get ready here. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's get started with the Heisman Shuffle. So you're going shuffle, shuffle, stop, shuffle, shuffle, stop. Just back and forth. You got a minute here, so again, pace yourself, but also push yourself. When it comes to the pelvic floor, especially if you're dealing with any type of symptoms, make sure that you're giving yourself a good exhale during that impact. So with this Heisman, for example, I'm going to be engaging my abs, keeping things nice and tight as I shuffle over. Exhale as I bring my knee up. That's also going to help stabilize myself. It's going to help engage my core a little bit more. Keeping that pelvic floor nice and happy. 5 more seconds. Keep going. Good. All right. Another 20-second break. We're going to grab your weights. We're going to go back to that split stance squat or split stance deadlift with the opposite foot up front. So I have my right foot up or left foot up front, dealing with the right, and go ahead and get back into it. Take advantage of trying to get yourself into a better position to allow your heart rate to come down. All right, good. After we're done with this one, round 1 is over. Good, make sure that you're sending your hips back. Exhale as you come up to help those abs engage more. Avoid pushing your hips at the front or at the top. Okay, just think about standing nice and tall versus pushing those hips forward. Good. Your heart rate should be nice and kind of settling back to its normal position at this point. Okay, good. All right, 20-second break. Get a sip of water as we get ready for round 2. All right, round 2, I'm going to need an elevated surface as an option. So what it's gonna look like, you're gonna be here. We're gonna emphasize one leg. So we're gonna go up, up, power, up, up, power. We're gonna do it like that for the 60 seconds, and then the second time through, we'll make sure that we do the opposite side. All right, so Picking your height, completely up to you. If you want to go all the way down to the floor, that's on you. You can do that for sure. If not, you know, couch, side of the couch, countertop, you pick whatever's safest for your diastasis, if that's what you're dealing with, or your pelvic floor, if that's what you're dealing with. But without further ado, let's get started for a minute. So we're gonna go power, power up, shuffle, shuffle up. So you're just kind of shuffling through. As you do this, you want to make sure that you're exhaling as you drive that knee up. And you're stopping and holding it there for about a second before you keep going to the next one. Keep your abs nice and engaged. Keep your ears, I lost my train of thought there. Keep your ears away from your shoulders. Make sure that your arms, your shoulders, your serratus, all that is engaged to help stabilize you at the top. 5 more seconds. And last one. All right, very good. We're taking a 20-second break here. And I believe I mentioned also needing a ball, which I'm trying to find where my ball went right off too. Here it is. So what we're going to do with this one, if you don't have a ball, a stuffed animal, or a folded up pillow works up just fine. We're going to do sumo squats. So you want your toes facing out away from you, like this. You're going to press as you lift up. All right? So 1 minute. Go ahead and sink down into it. Exhale and engage your abs as you press that ball. You're staying in that wide sumo squat as you pulse for the minute. Obviously, the lower that you go, the more work you'll get out of it. So just because our heart rate is coming down compared to where it was at initially with the mountain climbers, doesn't mean we're not working hard. Good, keep it going. Really engaging, squeezing that ball. Keep your chest up nice and high. You should be feeling this not just in your abs, but in your glutes, inner thighs, as you pulse up. Good, go ahead and stand up, shake that off. Get ready for the next set of the mountain climbers. Make sure that they'll roll away from me this time again. If you felt that your height the last time was maybe too much or not enough, now's the time to adjust that. All right? So go ahead and step back into it. Again, you're switching legs as you do your mountain climbers. All right? Here we go. You're going to a quick one, and then drive your knee up as you exhale. Good. Keep it going. Really focus on your form. You feel like maybe your back is feeling it, or your back is sagging, or your butt is too high. That'll be your indication to move to a different elevated position. And a minute's a long time, so adjust accordingly. 20 seconds left. Push it. Keep working. Five, four, three, two, one. All right, good job. Take a little breather. Get a sip of water if you need it. And we're back to the sumo squats. All right, back to the sumo squats. Got another 5 seconds here of break. Catch your breath. And then we're sinking down low. All right, in 3, 2, 1. So we're legs out, feet turn out. We're gonna exhale and stand up tall into that mini pulse, that is. Good, give yourself a nice good exhale as you squeeze the ball between your hands. You can go faster if you want more of a burn. Again, pace yourself. We're going for a minute here. You got about 20 seconds left. Stay in that squat. Get lower if you can. All right, last few seconds here. And relax. All right, round 2 is over. All right, catch your breath. Grab another sip of water if you need it. And we're gonna go for round 3 now. This time, we're gonna do more of mountain climbers, but we're standing. So what that looks like is you're gonna be hopping through it this way. Again, if you're dealing with pelvic floor issues, or maybe just your knees don't like the impact, you can always step it out. So imagine that you're climbing rope as you do this. Just stay up on your toes as you do this to make sure to get the most out of it. All right, let's go ahead and get ready. In 3, 2, 1, and start. So it's opposite knee, opposite arm. Really pushing it high. Make sure that as you're doing this, especially if you're dealing with pelvic floor issues, that you're not flaring your ribs as you do this. Meaning you're not trying to reach out and extend so high that you're starting to lose control below. So kind of meet yourself where you're at, if that's what you're dealing with. If not, again, you can always just step it all the way through, and that'll help you keep your heart rate up and also maintain that form. All right, we got another 20 seconds here. Keep pushing. Bring your knees up high if you can. Imagine you're climbing that rope with your hands as you keep going. Keep climbing. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. All right, very good. All right, next one that we have here is we're gonna have a bent over row. So a couple options. You can use single arm, just make sure that the next time through that you're switching, or we're grabbing 2, we're going here, kind of more in that bent over position. Again, if you're having back issues, that first option might be better for you. And if you get tired, you can stay here and then do just kind of alternating. All right, you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bend over. Feet are about hip width apart. Again, you can alternate, or you can just go straight for it. Trying to keep your chest down. Your gaze from your eyes are maybe about 2 or 3 feet in front of your feet, so that you stay in a nice neutral position here. You want to make sure that you're pinching your shoulder blades back, like you're pinching a pencil back there. Keep your abs, especially your lower abs, nice and engaged to protect your back. Avoid arching here too much. Instead, have kind of a slight tuck if you do have back issues. The other little trick that you have if you're near a wall, you can kind of stick your bottom there and gently rest it on the wall to kind of help you engage your lower abs and keep a safer position for your back while you continue rowing. All right, we're back to that first exercise. We're at the standing mountain climbers. So again, climbing here, opposite arm, opposite knee. All right, we're gonna take you here. Give yourself another 5 seconds. Give yourself a little breather. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Another minute of mountain climbers. All right, go ahead and get started. We're climbing here. Throw your hands up. Opposite knee goes up. Go at the speed that works for you. If this is too slow, speed it up. We're all at different points in our journey. You might be earlier postpartum, or you might be several years down the road. For myself, I'm 2 years out for my fourth one. And I can tell you this fourth one was by far the hardest to come back at. I still don't feel like I'm quite there yet. But every day, we're working a little harder, trying to get some movement in amongst the chaos. 2 and 1. All right. Very good. Relax. Let your heart rate kind of come back down. We're going to make sure that it comes down for sure. The next one, again, if you opted for a single arm, make sure that you turn it around and do the opposite one there. If not, we're grabbing 2 weights here. All right, let's go ahead and get at it. So 2 weights, we're over, bent over, abs nice and engaged. You're rowing, make sure your elbows come up past your trunk. Your back is nice and flat. Your gaze is 2 or 3 feet in front of your feet. That'll help keep that neutral neck alignment. We don't want to be kinking up or sagging down. Good. Squeeze it at the top. Exhale to lift up. Or you can start to alternate if you're starting to get a little tired. Remember, you got options. We're here to show you what they are, and then you just jump right in, back with the 2 when you feel ready. All right, very good. 3rd round is over. All right, we just have 1 round left. Get your water again. All right, this next one, you're gonna use your weight again. And right now, again, this is gonna be wood choppers. So you're coming down with the opposite leg and chopping up. And normally, I would probably stick with that. In fact, I'm a little tired. You can grab a smaller weight too at this point. Because again, you're gonna be doing this for a minute. So you wanna make sure that you can keep up with it. And if anything, you can always start heavy and then back off if you need to. All right, so maybe that's what I'll do. Push myself. So we're gonna come down low. You're gonna pivot on that back leg as you chop upwards. Okay, keep your core engaged throughout the movement. But as you chop upwards, get your exhale in to help strengthen that a little bit more. As you come down, you're pivoting on that back leg. As you come up, you're pivoting on that other back leg. So you're kind of twisting back and forth on your toes to protect your knees. Make sure that you're sitting back into it. So side view, I'm here, versus we're not just squatting forward here. We're setting ourselves up through the back. 5 more seconds. Good. All right. This next one, what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab your lighter weights here, and we're gonna do forward, arm raise, and Ys. So we're thinking about doing like an I, and then a Y, all right? So we're alternating between the 2. You can grab your sip of water if you need to. If not, we're gonna get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right? So keep your abs nice and engaged as you come forward and to the sides. Make sure that you're exhaling. So this is the forward, and this is the Y. Make sure as you're doing this, especially depending on how heavy the weight is, that you're not thrusting your ribs, you're not like thrusting your back just to get that height. If you need to, regress down in the weight. Make sure that your ribs stay stacked over your pelvis as you do this. And this is going to make sure that you really stay engaged throughout the motion. And it's especially important if you're dealing with any type of diastasis recti, any pelvic floor issues. The base is to train those ribs, training your breathing. We got 3 more seconds, 2 and 1. All right, you need 5 pounds to really be that heavy. All right, give yourself a little breather. These are the last 2 exercises before we go into our cool down. So we're gonna grab our weight again. We're gonna go straight into those wood choppers. Remember to switch sides so that you end up hitting both sides. All right, let's go. We're chopping down and up. Bring the weight down, chopping up. Exhale as you sink upwards. Good. Good, make sure that you're sitting back into it as you bring the weight down. To make sure that you're not trapping your knees too far forward. Something is good. We're just trying to hit the glutes, make them work a little bit more. Hence why we don't want you coming forward too much on your knee. 15 seconds. Keep pushing. 10 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Very good. All right, that's the last one for there. All right, very last exercise, and then we're down into the cool down. So 2 weights forward, 2 weights out and a Y. All right, here we go. Let's get it started. So we're starting out 2 weights forward, and then to the side. So make sure as you're doing this exercise, it's not so much about how high you can get. We're really trying to focus on the small muscles between your shoulder blades. That's really going to help with your posture. Avoid that hunchback. Avoid the rounded shoulders. Avoid the forward head. This is going to help strengthen you. You know, after hours of scrolling on the phone, after being in traffic, at work all day on a computer, this is going to help. Holding a baby, nursing them, rocking them when they're sick. These are the muscles that you want to make sure are nice and strong for that. All right, we're down to our 10 seconds here. The last few seconds of our first live workout. And I hope you're enjoying it. In 3, 2, and 1. All right, good job. We're going to just do a couple of minute cool down here. Let's go ahead and start by crossing that arm over and kind of pulling that shoulder blade back to really get that stretch on the posterior capsule of that shoulder. So you're pulling nice and back. Very good. We're going to go ahead and cross it over to the other side. All right. Now if you enjoy this workout, make sure that you post your wins, your gems for the week, for the day on our community board. Our community board is there to encourage each other, you know, and to lift each other up when we're needing it. Go ahead and cross that arm up above you and then down to your side. You're pulling up on that elbow. Very good. You're going to hold it here for another 10 seconds. Again, we want to make sure that we're supporting one another in this community. Go ahead and switch to the other side. We want to make sure that we can answer each other's questions. Sometimes, or a lot of times, we all have the same questions and we're usually just too shy to ask. All right, go ahead and reach for that leg. Give it a nice little pull here. Try not to fall forward. Grab a friend, a wall, a chair if you need it. Make sure the thighs are nice and parallel. Switch to the other side. Very good. So our goal here is to do live workouts in addition to education. Last week we did more on like diastasis recti myths on our live. If you have a particular topic that you want us to go ahead and cover, make sure that you are dropping that in the comments or message me personally. But then that way, you know, we have a feel of what it is that everybody's looking for as far as information. Go ahead and switch that front leg and things like that. We want to make sure that everybody's questions are answered and that you're not kind of left hanging out there in the dark. All right, go ahead and give yourself a nice upward inhale, exhale. Good job. Thanks for joining. Again, go ahead and comment and leave your goals, your gems, your wins. And if you're sweaty as I am, then you did it right. All right, take care everybody and see you next time.